Am I the butthole? Am I the butthole for booking to go away the same weekend as my boyfriend, leaving him to look after our daughter? My boyfriend and I have a 3-year-old daughter together. He used to go away very occasionally by himself before we had her, and this has increased quite a lot since she was born. Not for long periods, just a night or two. He also visits his daughter from a previous relationship, which is fine, but I am mentioning as relevant later. He is notoriously bad for informing me when he is going away. He always claims he told me and I forgot. There have been times where he has arranged to see his daughter on weekends when plans have already been made. These were all pre-COVID. Once I had arranged for my mum to babysit for our anniversary and for us to go out. Another time I was meant to be attending a baby shower and needed him to watch our daughter. Another time I had arranged to go to the theatre with a friend. His daughter lives quite far away, so he wouldn't have made it back in time to watch our daughter. He was fully aware of all these plans and claimed he forgot when arranging to see his daughter. I didn't ask him to cancel as it is not fair on her, so I had to make other arrangements in each case. Obviously he has been going away less because of restrictions. As soon as they eased, he has been going away. I have never had a night away for our daughter. I had made a couple of plans, but each time a lockdown happened, so obviously they got cancelled. He says he encourages me to go away and he is not stopping me. I have tried to explain that his going away so much does stop me, as someone needs to look after our child. Not comfortable for either of my parents to watch her yet, just in case of any risk. In the summer, once restrictions are lifted, I have arranged to see my friend for a couple of days. I told him about it and he said I couldn't do it on that date because he was going on a cycle holiday. I told him he hasn't told me anything about this, and yet again he claims he did and I forgot. He asked me to cancel it, saying I could go to my friend's anytime. I could rearrange it but feel I shouldn't have to. He could also rearrange camping. So I have been refusing. He is now in a sulk. Am I the asshole for not rearranging my plans? Edit. I had got a family calendar when the issues of him double booking seeing his daughter arose. Problem is he will only write in it if I nag him to do so. Or he will say he will do it later and not to treat him like a child. With everything here, it doesn't sound like he is a good partner. His gaslighting you about his plans is not good and you need to address it. Maybe a shared calendar where he puts the time so at least there is proof. But your bigger issue is that he doesn't respect you. Being a parent and partner is a two-way street and everything here is flowing one way. Not the butthole. He won't even mark the calendar according to OP's edit. Throw the man away. Collect child support and get your own nanny op. Not the butthole. This. And the fact he says she's treating him like a child when she reminds him a gazillion times to fill out the calendar so she can plan her time. She shouldn't have to remind him. He is an adult. He's a controlling mother effer. Trying to control her time and her energy by going away without telling her. Refusing to fill out the calendar so she can plan her time. Edit. Not the butthole. Dude being away this much and gaslighting her about informing her of his plans ahead of time seems very suspicious to me. Op. Do you know that he's actually where he claims to be? Agreed. It also sounds like most of his trips are either to spend time with his ex or some other girl. I do believe he goes and sees his daughter, but I also believe most of the trip is not about being with his daughter, if you get what I mean. Not the butthole. He's leaving you to parent by yourself so he can continue having a social life, which leaves you isolated from the people you want to see and stuck at home. He's majorly gaslighting you by lying to you about forgetting dates, etc. These two things alone are huge red flags, but the fact that he goes out so often for such short periods of time would also raise concerns for me. Right? I feel like Reddit always wants to jump to the worst possible conclusion, but this guy is doing an Olympic gymnastics dance routine with giant red flag streamers. Lying to her about having told her, "I already let you know. You're just forgetting," is designed to let him get his way while leaving her questioning her memory and sanity. It is nefarious AF. If she wants to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just oblivious, then an easy solution would be making a policy that time away requests have to be discussed face to face and put on the calendar always and only as part of that conversation. This goes both ways, so each partner has the right to talk about conflicts or concerns. It's worth a try, at least. Although I'm not thinking this is a guy who's going to go the distance with this family. Not the butthole. Not the butthole. Pretty convenient he has to go away every time you have plans. Seems like he doesn't want to be responsible for caring for your daughter alone and decides to tell you he made plans. Buy a whiteboard calendar and tell him to mark the weekends for his trips, at least a week in advance. If he can't do that, y'all need to hash this out with clear expectations and consequences, whatever they may be. Let me get this straight. He gets multiple trips to visit his daughter and enjoy a social life, but also really needs this camping trip even though you can't even go to a baby shower due to his frequent plans. And, per him, he's proactive enough to tell you ahead of time and your memory is too problematic to remember, but he still refuses to use the calendar to prevent double booking. Not the butthole. This guy has an excuse for everything, but the end result seems to be the same. He gets what he wants and you don't. Update. Am I the butthole for booking to go away the same time as my boyfriend, leaving him to look after our daughter? Not sure if anyone really wanted an update, but the situation came to a head, so I just wanted to vent. Thank you for everyone who commented. So I had a word with him about the family calendar and people's suggestions about if it's not on the calendar it doesn't exist. Making sure my time away was on there. He seemed to go along with it and said he would reschedule his cycle trip. Great, I thought. Until it came to the morning of the trip. My BF often gets up super early and I roll over and go back to sleep, so thought nothing of it when he was up early. Heard the door go but just presumed he was taking out the bins or something. When I woke up, couldn't find him and the car had gone. Tried to phone him, no answer. Some of his stuff had gone. Asked my neighbor to check his garage for my BF's bike where he keeps it. It had gone. Confused and quietly seething at this point, try his phone a couple more times. Nothing. Phone my friend at this point saying I can find him and will probably miss my train. About midday I get a phone call. He had gone on his trip. Tells me to check the calendar. He has Tipexed out my writing and written in his trip. I say a few choice words to him. He basically says it's my fault as I should have got up earlier. So I told him that he won and he is now free to go on as many cycle trips as he wants now. Friend suggested taking the kids to the seaside, her son is a similar age. We spent the next day at the beach and had a nice time. Told BF not to come back. He says I'm overreacting but I am done. Jesus, what a jerk. Good on you and don't take him back. Also, change the locks. Don't you just love it when the trash takes itself out? The only thing that you need to do now is to make sure you don't bring the trash back into the house. Good for you and thanks for the update. It's going to be a most beautiful day. Right. I would also like to point out the view this man seems to have, that adults are given freedom and respect, but don't have responsibilities, a set standard for behavior, is the view of a child. That's how children see adulthood. When you combine that and his very short-sighted actions here, that don't seem like he considered consequences at all, i.e., I'll run away from home type logic. This dude wants to be treated like an adult, but he is behaving like someone who is still viewing the world through a child's lens. He is not behaving like someone with the maturity level of an adult. Wow, good on you for ending it. What he did was beyond disrespectful. He would rather act like a child than have a conversation. Who thinks I'll cross their plans out and if I sneak out early enough they can't do anything about it? He deserves to be single. Not the butthole, well done you. He sounds very selfish and from reading your last post it appears he doesn't care about anything but his own wants. In your shoes I'd be writing, dumped selfish hole on the calendar. Don't give him an inch going forward. Legal route all the way for custody and child support. Don't allow any room for maneuvering and grandstanding. You don't want your child to be waiting at the window while he dips off to see the child out of town deliberately and without notice. If he comes back full of fake contrition, don't believe a word of it. He lied, deceived, outmaneuvered and betrayed you. This isn't a case of, I win, from his perspective. It's a case of, I don't give a stuff about you, as long as I get what I want, that's all that matters.
Thanks for listening to Reddit Watch. Please like, subscribe and comment for more.